Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we are taking a closer look at another Sony E-mount lens, the 18 to 135mm f3.5 to 5.6 OSS lens for APS-C cameras. Enjoy! When you buy a Sony APS-C camera in a kit, you usually have two options: the older 16 to 50mm pancake lens with a power zoom, or for a higher price, the newer 18 to 135mm. In this review we will focus on the latter, but we will compare the two lenses from time to time, so stay tuned. For reference, all the testing was conducted on my Sony A6300, but the results should be similar for other Sony APS-C cameras as well. Let me start off by saying that the lens is very well built. It is primarily made out of plastic with the exception of the lens mount. On the scale it weighs only around 325 grams. The zoom ring is a bit stiff, requiring some force to move it, while the manual focus ring is quite smooth. On the side it features an autofocus manual focus switch, and the front lens element has a 55mm filter thread. The package also includes a practical lens hood. When fully extended, the lens is still compact, especially considering its impressive 18 to 135mm focal length, which is equivalent to 27 to 200mm on full frame. Just to remind you, this lens is solely for APS-C sensor cameras, such as the A6000 series or the ZV-E10. The lens provides an impressive range from a decently wide angle to a tight telephoto, as you can see here. The lens has a relatively narrow aperture of f3.5 to 5.6 as you zoom in. This means that the lens is not ideal for low light situations or when you want particularly soft backgrounds. In comparison with the 16 to 50mm kit lens, the 18 to 135mm is considerably larger, but also covers a much greater zoom range. Furthermore, both have the same maximum aperture of 3.5 to 5.6, so despite its limited range, the pancake lens is not brighter than its larger kit lens cousin. This makes the 18 to 135mm a much more versatile option right from the start, unless a smaller form factor or a powered zoom is your top priority. The lens features optical image stabilization, or OSS, in the Sony landscape. It performs very well even at 135mm, making it suitable for some light video work. When I turn OSS off, the footage looks significantly worse. The autofocus is adequately fast and generally reliable for both photos and videos. It struggles a bit more in low light, but I never encountered a situation where I was frustrated with its performance. It works well overall. In my testing, the picture quality is excellent across the focal length range, providing perfectly fine results. Sharpness is naturally best in the middle, but the corners aren't terrible either. Zoom lenses with a large range are often associated with lower picture quality compared to lenses with a smaller range, and many of the sharpest lenses are in fact primes, which don't zoom at all. However, I believe Sony has struck a beautiful sweet spot between versatility and quality with this lens. It's incredibly practical and so much fun to use that I find it hard to put away and use other lenses. It's a perfect fit for when you only want to carry one lens with you because you are traveling, or maybe you don't want to be bothered with changing lenses. Here are some comparison photos I took with the lens versus the 16 to 50mm. Overall, it's noticeably sharper when using the same settings. Take a look at these two pictures taken at 50mm. Once again, the 18 to 135mm is sharper. And just to put things into perspective, here's a demonstration of how much closer it can zoom in while maintaining that maximum aperture of f5.6. The lens has a minimum focus distance of 45 centimeters, allowing you to get very close to your subject. While it's not a macro lens and Sony doesn't advertise it as such, I would be lying if I told you that I don't use it like one. This lens can capture gorgeous close-up shots of flowers and insects, even with decently out of focus backgrounds. In summary, the Sony 18 to 135mm is a brilliant kit lens that is well worth the upcharge compared to the 16 to 50mm pancake lens. Even if you buy the lens separately, I highly recommend it. It offers decent sharpness across its useful zoom range and with a small form factor. While it's not ideal for low light situations, in ample light, this lens won't disappoint you. One more tip before I go. The price of this lens fluctuates. I've seen it in new condition priced as high as 550 euros, which I think is excessive. But you can also find it as low as 400 euros, which is when I bought mine. So keep your eyes peeled for a good deal. But that's it on my part. If you have any questions or simply want to share your opinion, please leave a comment below. Thank you all very much for watching and of course, have a wonderful day.